Today I'm going to talk about 10 things I've purchased and why. Starting off with my journal. So my journal is something that's really important to me. Towards the end of last year, I was running out of pages in the journal I had, and I was panicking because it's very important to me to always have a journal. And I went to Walmart because I figured that's where I could get a notebook for cheaper rather than a place like the local bookstore, because, you know, they have beautiful notebooks and journals there, and I'm very well aware of it, and it'd be so cool to get one of those, right? But money. So because of money, I went to Walmart, I looked at their notebook option, and this one seemed best to me for the reasons of its size. I wanted something small, but not too small, but not like too big. Like something I could stick in my backpack, but also not just my school backpack, but like my mini backpack or something, and just easily carried it around, not be too heavy, not be too flimsy either. It's hardback, so it's not going to get all like bent up and stuff, and the pages inside are protected. Yeah, I also wanted something with a very specifically kind of plain cover, as opposed to the covers on the other notebooks at the store. They were all kind of lame. They weren't really me. I don't know, they didn't really have anything good, so I thought, you know what, you can't go wrong with just a plain, solid cover. I know it says notes on it, can't do much about that. It works. And so truly at the end of the day, those are the reasons why I got this pretty plain hardcover journal, because it works for the amount of money I'm paying for it. Yippee. Next thing I have is Pop-Tarts. However, you'll notice these are not on-brand Pop-Tarts. I don't buy on-brand Pop-Tarts, not for any like moral reason or anything, but simply because, once again, money. I buy the Walmart off-brand most often, simply because they're like incredibly significantly cheaper. As far as the packaging goes, sorry, you can tell I folded it all up because I actually have a giant collection of cardboard boxes. As far as design goes, it's not bad. If I had to give my opinions on it, the red color is interesting. I don't know, stands out, I suppose. It's easy to tell what flavor it is, and that is something that's important to me. I do pay very close attention to what flavors I'm grabbing when I'm choosing Pop-Tarts, and I 99% of the time always get the brown sugar ones. So as soon as I see this design, my brain recognizes, oh, that's the brown sugar one, that's the one I need to grab. So, you know, if they were to change that up, I would probably be really caught off guard and be like, no, where's the brown sugar ones I always buy? So I suppose you could say that the familiarity of it is important to the branding and the reason why I choose it every time, because I know exactly what I'm getting and it's something I always get. You can see something I guess I've noticed is that you can tell it's the Walmart off-brand simply because in the Great Value logo, it's Walmart blue and also has the same typography as like Walmart. So yeah, you know where I got this from. Next thing is cereal, specifically Corn Chex, but once again, off-brand because money. This one is, surprisingly, not the Walmart off-brand, but rather the Lin's off-brand. I happened to be at Lin's when I was shopping, and there was a good sale on this specific box of cereal, so I got two of them. One of them to eat in a bowl with milk, and the other to make Muddy Buddies. I love Muddy Buddies, they're so good. I suppose, as far as the design goes of this, that it's not too far off from what the actual brand tends to look like. And they do that on purpose so that you know that, oh, this is an off-brand of Corn Chex. It's good that they keep, you know, corn is the first word there, because I do prefer Corn Chex over like Rice Chex. Ugh. Sorry, I have opinions. And having just this giant picture of the cereal up front is also incredibly important, because I do look at that and go, oh, that's Corn Chex. It may be a different brand, but I see that picture, I see what that cereal looks like, and I know what cereal that is, no matter what brand is making it. So that's an important thing when it comes to the design of the box and me choosing to purchase it. Using that giant picture of the cereal and what it looks like to capture my attention. So yeah, Good on Food Club, I guess. Next, you ready for this one? I have this little guy. He's kind of freaky looking, but that's intentional. The reason I wanted to purchase this fella here was due to the marketing of this indie animation that I really like to watch called The Amazing Digital Circus. Back in October, The Amazing Digital Circus came out with their 3rd episode. It was the Halloween episode, and it had the freaky little guy in it. You know, he looks kind of different than this plushy version, but you know. And at the very end of the episode, as they do with all their episodes, they say, hey, if you want to support the show, we have merch. And the way that they advertise their merch is just so adorable and so well tailored to their audience. Because they don't just, you know, stick it in at the end of the episode like, hey, by the way, guys, if you liked the show, there's merch for it too, including that silly little guy that we turned into a plushie. They go out of their way to, like, make Instagram posts and little short videos for, like, Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or just little YouTube skits showing off the merch in real life. Like, just showing people doing silly little skits with the merch that they're selling, making silly little jokes and, like, I don't know, putting their little figurines in a frying pan and being like, you could do this too if you buy our merch. And it's so fun, and I love how much effort they put into selling their designs and selling the things that are going to help keep creating the show. So I purchased this because I want to help support this show that I really admire, and I thought the design of it was really cool. I mean, did you even see I can rip its head off? That's cool. And there's more. Its eyes glow in the dark. And it's really cool, and so do its teeth, and so do the little eyes on its wings. So that's really cool. That was a big selling point for me. I was like, okay, come on. Also, look at its big, long arms, and if you want to, like, sneak up behind someone and wrap its arms around them, its arms have Velcro, so it can just, like, hang on to them. I don't know. It's very silly and funny, so, yeah, that is why I decided to purchase this funny little guy to support that little indie, not little, it's a big one now, but indie animation show. Next, let's see. Oh, I have a part of the cardboard box that my toothpaste came in. I specifically kept this because look how pretty. Oh, there we go. See, it's shiny. The chameleon is shiny. That's so cool. Also, this specific kind of toothpaste I wanted for the longest time. I saw an advertisement for it once, and I was like, I need that. I just need that. It's color-changing toothpaste. That is so cool, and I want to know what it tastes like, and I want to see it change color. I need this. But for the longest time, I didn't know where to find it. Every store I would go in just wouldn't have it. I was always checking the toothpaste sections, hoping to come across this specific brand of toothpaste. You know, there were plenty of other kids' toothpaste options of different brands and different colors, but none of them were this one specifically. I was looking for this one specifically, and I happened to find it here in the Cedar City Walgreens. They had it. I literally started jumping up and down in the store because I found it. So what drew me to it so much? Definitely, again, the packaging, so pretty, very shiny chameleon. The gimmick, of course, of it's toothpaste that changes color. Also, just, personally, I prefer children's toothpaste because sometimes adult toothpaste, it's always in mint flavor, and sometimes that's just really overwhelming to the point of painful. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes I find mint toothpaste painful. And so this stuff tastes great, and I knew it would. I could almost taste it simply from the packaging. So, love this, love the color scheme, love the concept of it. It's incredible, it's amazing. I'm actually running out of it. I need to buy more, and now I know where. So, thank heavens, this advertisement got me hooked. It got me, it won me over, it wins. Next, let's see. Oh, This is something I bought recently when I was at the mall. I went to Barnes & Noble, and oh my goodness, never let me to a Barnes & Noble. I will not leave without buying something. Oh lordy, there was so much I wanted to get. I had to decide on one thing. That's all I had the money for. And I got this book. It's called Magical Boy. Now, you'll notice this is Magical Boy Volume 2. So Magical Boy is a graphic novel that is a 2-part series. So the reason I wanted this book so bad was, first of all, I was there from day one. As in, I was there when the first chapter of this book was posted as a webcomic. On the internet, a webcomic from this artist I was already following, an artist called The Cow, who would draw just slice-of-life comics about his life, you know, and he decided one day, I guess, to create this beautiful, beautiful narrative story, like, hey guys, I'm actually starting, like, a fictional book series. And I was there from the day the first chapter was posted. I was there for all the updates. I got to see this beautiful story come to life. And as soon as he announced that, hey guys, it's going to become a physical book now, I pre-ordered, I have it right here, the first volume. It's in hardcover, so that's really cool. I pre-ordered that immediately, was one of the first people to get it. Yippee! Very cool. But for the longest time, I only had the first volume, which meant I only had half of the story. And that's really frustrating. So I got this. Now, the sad part about this is that it is unfortunately not hardcover. I couldn't find a hardcover in the store, and when I asked the lady at the register, she's like, oh yeah, we do offer like a hardcover version. We don't have it in store at the moment, but you could order it. But because I got this like last week, as opposed to having this book for years, I was like, no, I can't wait a moment longer. I'm sorry. I can't wait a moment longer. I need to have this book right now while it's in my hands. I can't just wait any longer. So I was like, okay, screw it. I don't need it to match. I will take soft cover. So let's talk about design. I'm sorry. I realize that is supposed to be the main point of this. I have a whole sticky note checklist of things I'm supposed to be talking about. Okay, so I could make a whole separate video essay about this book specifically. It's beautiful, the artwork, gorgeous, the author, master comic maker, master graphic novelist, knows what he's doing, is so good at it. But the transition from webcomic to physical book just did the story so, did the design so poorly. It's really sad because you have to understand the formatting from webcomic, which is something you look at on a little phone screen and you scroll upward, is so different than a physical book where you have the constraints of a page of paper. The constraints are much different. You have to think about how much paper you have to save, because in a webcomic you have a lot of like floating panels in the middle of white space. Same with lots of like speech bubbles that can kind of just like hang out anywhere. But when you have to put that onto a page of paper, you have to like squish things together, because you can't just have like 2 panels on 500 pages. You have to take like 20 panels and squish them all together onto this constrained piece of paper. And whoever was in charge of that didn't do the best job, in my opinion. Now, would I still buy the book? Of course. Of course. Like, that's not the author's fault. They had no control over that. Since they had no idea when they were starting out that this would ever become a physical book, they just thought it would be a silly little webcomic for people to read on the internet. I'm really happy for the author that it became a physical book, because now I get to hold it in my arms forever and ever. But yeah, so of course, despite the fact that on the inside, the designs are a bit, oh no, why did you make it look so cluttered on some page spreads? I'd buy it anyway. The art, gorgeous. The author, I really, really admire. And so when it comes down to it, that is the reason why I made the purchase anyways. Next, I have this. This is a little satchel with the logo. In a way, yeah, it's a logo from my friend Ransom. He's an artist who sells his artwork at the Cedar City Farmers Market on Saturday mornings. Unfortunately, not during winter, but, you know, during the warmer months like spring, summer, fall. You can find him out there selling his artwork. He sells art prints and pins and stickers and earrings that he fashions out of clay by hand. They're so good. So in this bag, I have like some stickers that he's made, and I have some pins that I bought, and this one in particular is all sparkly and shiny and made especially for me because apparently I inspired him to create this design, and that's just really cool. We're good friends. So I suppose the fact that we are friends comes into play with me wanting to purchase his stuff. But also just in general, I really admire his art style. He's an incredible artist. And when I see an incredible artist, I just really want to support them, you know? Oh man, if I were to turn the camera around right now, you would see the other side of my room, and you would see art prints all over the wall. There's not an inch of blank space because it's just covered in art prints. Because I love supporting artists. That is something that will always make me spend my money, is if I see someone who's a really good artist trying to sell their work, and I go, oh my gosh, you're so good at this, I want to support you. So yeah, I think it's really cool that they've started doing this thing where they can package their little works and have a little stamp that they created that they put onto the bags. Oh, and they do kind of have, they're working on their branding, and it's been really cool to see their branding evolve. His branding has almost always involved this deer that specifically has one antler. It's a very symbolic thing that means a lot to him, and it's something he has like a tattoo of. It's something he's always drawing. When he comes across photography of deer on Instagram, he always like reshares photos of like deer with one antler because like it's so cool, and that's him, that's his thing, a deer with one antler, and it's so recognizable, and I think that's a really good form of branding. He's also working on coming up with like a brand name. I believe he's thinking of like King's Ransom art, something like that. He's working on it, and it's really cool to see, and I believe in him, and I love that for him. Let's see, next. So, okay, this one's gonna be kind of funny. You'll see I am holding some pomade. So, a little while back, actually no, a bit more of a while back, I got a haircut. Before this haircut, I had another haircut. Because that's how it works. My hair just won't stop growing. And my hair was really, really short after that one because I wanted it to be, and it was great. And the particular hairstylist I went to that time was like, hey, I recommend, getting some products to put into your hair that will like, help you style it and stuff. I was like, whoa, styling my hair? That's so cool. Oh, that's so exciting. And I went to Walmart and I was looking at all these like different pomades and gels and stuff. I was like, oh gosh, I don't know which one to choose. This one smells so good. And I was like, I really like this one. I like the way it smells. It's euphoric almost, strangely enough. And so here's the thing. This is a scenario where I didn't look too closely at the branding or the label. It's a brand I've never heard of before, and I didn't look too closely. I mean, as you can probably see, it says Sport and Waves. I don't have waves. My hair is incredibly straight, unfortunately, unlike me. Ha ha ha. And, well, I was like, oh, it's a pomade. They're all the same, right? But then I look a little closer, and on here, as a little label that says, since 1901. Okay, yeah, cool. It's a brand that's been around for a while. And an even tinier print. It says, formulated for black men. Well, I didn't say that part, but you know what? It works for me anyway. Maybe I didn't read that as closely as I should have. Maybe it was probably not meant to be used in my hair, but it's worked for me so far, so I guess I'm kind of stuck with it. I suppose this is a lesson for me to read labels just a little closer, which is funny because normally all the time I do, but in this scenario, I was buying a product I'd never bought before, and I didn't even know what to look for. I had never bought in such things for my hair. I didn't even know pomade existed until that moment, actually, if I'm being so honest. So yeah, but now that I have experience with this sort of product and know that this kind of product even exists in the first place, I will look closer next time and probably buy something that is more meant for my hair. Perhaps I should have read the words, maximum wave making formula. I don't have waves. Why did I get this? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking that day. So that one, not quite a win, but works anyways. All right, next thing I have for you was something that I saw that was on sale. And first of all, that really drew me to it because it was the makeup section of Walmart where things tend to like usually be like on clearance or marked down. And I saw, hold on, let me open it, this. What drew me to it was these bright colors. As you can see, the outside says like neon, right? Oh boy, are they. I was like, oh my gosh, those colors. Whoa, they're so bright. They're so vivid. There's so much I could do with them. And so, thanks to the packaging, I suppose you could say, of this particular thing of makeup being quite see-through so that I could see how bright and vivid those colors were, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, man, colors. I need those colors. Look how vivid they are. So that, even though this is not like any familiar brand to me, the fact that it happened to be in the clearance section and also happened to be so eye-catching with these colors, that is what drew me to it and made me purchase it. Have I used it? Yes. Yes, actually. I don't frequently wear a lot of like makeup very often. When I do wear makeup, it is for like cosplay or drag, you know, like special occasions. I still find it so fun, you know? It may not be an everyday thing for me. I mean, can you imagine if I was showing up like neon every day? You know, maybe I could, but it's a bit exhausting sometimes. But yeah, so fun. It was the colors, it was the brightness and the boldness. I'm realizing this video is pretty long and I apologize. We have one final thing. So, I just wanted to laugh about this purchase I made because, so for my painting class, it was painting 1, we were told all these specific colors that we had to buy as oil paints. Now, the thing about oil paints, they are so expensive. I didn't go to Walmart this time. I actually went to Joann's. Yes, I went to Joann's, in which they had all these different brands of oil paints. I was comparing and contrasting, and there were a couple of factors that influenced like what brand I was gonna buy. Number 1 was money. However, I couldn't be too picky about money because I really needed specific colors. So at the end of the day, if one brand that was cheaper was out of that color, I would just have to get it from the other brand, even if it was more expensive, and it really sucked. But I was able to find most of the colors I needed. They had to be the specific ones. So this tiny tube of paint, probably around $6. Ridiculous. And then I happened to go to the farmer's market. Now at the farmer's market, at least at the time I went, there was a little booth set up that was selling old donated art supplies to support the Johnson Art Center. Love the Johnson Art Center. I perform there very frequently, including this January on the 25th. Anyways, they were selling some random tubes of oil paint for 25 cents. That is not $25, that's 25 cents. I spent $6 on this big fancy brand at Joann's for the same color. Oh my gosh. So now I just happen to have a lot of cadmium yellow. Anyways, sorry, we're supposed to be talking about design and how design influences your purchases. This design's pretty cool, I guess. It lets me know that it's a yellow paint tube. If this paint tube was just in black and white, and I was stuck there just purely reading words, I probably would have been there in the store for like 5 million years. So it's pretty good to have your paint tubes labeled with approximate colors of what that color is. Makes things quicker and easier for your brain. This one also does the same thing. Yeah, sorry, I'm still reeling over the fact that this cost me $0.25. And this was $6. The joys of being an art student, right? Anyways, thanks fellas, that's all I have for ya.